Most DPS players have a consistency problem. At least that's what they think. They blame their aim or their mechanics, but consistency isn't their real issue usually. The real issue is how you position and how you set up. Once you fix that, everything else starts to click. Today I'm breaking down the concepts that will change how you think about playing DPS, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like in my own VODs. And if you play any other role, stick around because this could apply to you too. And if you're new here, I'm Buzz. I'm a Grandmaster tank player in Overwatch. Let's get into it. I wanted to go ahead and start this video with thinking of the concept of consistency. Consistency looks very different in Overwatch when you compare it to other aspects of life. I find that a lot of players have the goal of becoming more consistent with their mechanics. Wanting to be consistent is a fair goal, but I think the way that a lot of players go about it is wrong. Consistency in mechanics a lot of times revolves around the ideas of setting yourself up and how you position to make those shots easier to hit. One way you can apply this concept is by always picking unfair 1v1s with the enemy. If you go into a game with this mindset, you'll find that you'll have the opportunity to hit the first shot for free a lot of the times, which really does help in the span of a 1v1. If the enemy that you're 1v1ing doesn't know where you're coming from, or they don't know where to look for you, they have to make a large adjustment to be able to track you. So if you're able to play for an unfair 1v1, you're going to have a lot better of a chance in winning that 1v1, even if your mechanics are worse than that player's. And an unfair 1v1 isn't necessarily always someone that is not paying attention to you. It could take the form of someone who's burned their cooldowns, or if you have your ultimate up, that would be considered an unfair 1v1 as well. This mindset shift can help you understand your job better in the team composition. When you stop taking every 1v1 that is granted to you and start picking the fights that you have an advantage in, you're going to see that you're going to die less and you're going to hit more shots, and that's where the consistency comes from. Into the last concept before I dive into the VOD review, I wanted to talk about rotations. I've noticed that a lot of players, especially hit scan players, don't rotate as much as I think that they should. When you're on a DPS and the enemy knows where you are, it helps them inform where to position and where to path so they can minimize your sightlines. Naturally, this is going to make you take a more aggressive angle or just not have the opportunity to hit the shots on their rotation. Being able to put pressure on their rotations while minimizing the pressure you take from your threats is how you get value on DPS. If you're able to pop out from a different angle every couple seconds, the enemy is going to have to adjust to you every single time. Now, I think with those three concepts, you will find yourself becoming more efficient and more consistent. Now that you've heard the concepts, let's see what they look like in a VOD review. Alright, I wanted to go ahead and take this opportunity to get into the VOD review, and my whole goal this session was to take unfair 1v1s. As you can see at the start here, I went ahead and marked out the tracer, and I actually do even secure the kill. That was an unfair 1v1 because this tracer did not know that I was here. And even if she did, I had the range advantage because I'm playing a longer ranged character than her. So she's going to have to use movement to get to me. So here you can see I've rotated around. I don't want them to know where I am if possible. I take a slightly disadvantaged 1v1, so I go ahead and back out and reset. The reason that's disadvantaged for me is because at close range on a flank, in a 1v1 situation, Soldier has the advantage in the burst damage category. Emre is more consistent, whereas Soldier with his Helix rocket and his heal station can consistently win this 1v1 versus me. Here, where he's forced out without his field and without his support, I'm able to hold this angle a little harder. Here, same thing, taking a hard angle. I know my tank is there, so I don't have to necessarily play scared. And then here, this is where I see that they're all five looking at me, so I just go ahead and rotate and go for a better position. I even pull the pistol to give me the speed to jump to high ground, and I just shoot from this angle instead. And see, I'm not mechanically the most impressive player, but I'm able to get shots off basically uncontested, and eventually they lead to kills when I'm selectively picking my 1v1s. Here again, this Onron doesn't know I'm here. I don't secure the kill, but I back out, and I know that this Onron is going to follow me just because I had a feeling. So I set up, I throw a nade, I do miss the nade unfortunately, And then I seek the 1v1 here, get back to the health pack because I don't want to lose this 1v1. This is where the 1v1 becomes unfavored for me, so I slip away. And you see, even though I'm not even shooting my gun right now, I'm getting value because their on-run is distracted on me. Now this is a disadvantaged 1v1, so I reset out. I do make a pretty big mistake here. I shouldn't continue to force this, and I could have just hugged this corner and forced him to run into me more. But regardless, I just made a misplay there. It was a disadvantaged 1v1. But the goal of this VOD review is to show that the rotations, the constantly repositioning, setting yourself up is going to make your mechanics shine. Because I'm not very comfortable on Emre. I don't play Emre very often, and I'm still able to get a lot of these kills. This one I kind of choke a little bit just because on-run's hard to hit for me. And that's what I would consider more of an inconsistency in mechanics because I had the advantage in that 1v1. So unfortunately we did end up losing that fight, but we're able to come back with our ults. And again, just clearing this tracer off of my Mercy. That's not necessarily an advantaged 1v1, but I did have to take that 1v1 because my Mercy could have died. See how I'm getting this rotation going. I know their on-run's there because I can hear her. And this is actually a disadvantaged 1v1. So I immediately reset for the health pack, grab the health pack, and try to back out. Unfortunately, I go back in for some reason, and I do end up trading out with this on-run. I get the kill, but then I die to the burn. I think a better play would have just been to pressure the on-run, and then once I started winning the 1v1, I can just back up to my supports because I don't need to worry about getting this kill necessarily. Because if the difference is me dying versus me not dying, I don't need to get that kill. And then my team starts to clean this up, get to where I'm back in the fight, a charged punch, which is kind of troll to be honest. But you can see how I'm playing at a range where Tracer, Doom, and Moira can't pressure me. And if they were, they would have to use their main cooldown and get off of point, which is advantageous for me. So just playing my effective range, picking 1v1s with people who aren't engaged on me or have a significant disadvantage, and continuously rotating are the concepts that helped me win this round. Now that we did that VOD review, I hope that you can see how the consistency myth builds when you're not setting yourself up for improvement. Understanding what 1v1s that you need to take, and how you can pick unfair 1v1s for the enemy is very important for learning how to climb. While this is especially true on DPS, this also goes for support and tank. If you've made it this far into the video, I wanted to thank you for watching, and I hope that you learned something from this one. If you do feel like you learned something and you want to see more of this content coming, a like on the video and a subscription to the channel helps out more than you may know. I also have a Discord server, which is linked in the description. It's a place where you can come play games, hang out, talk improvement, or just to chill. Last thing before I let you go here, I wanted to mention that I'm partnered with Leica Esports, and they currently have a 20% discount link to join the Faceit League. If you're not familiar, the Faceit League is the competition structure that replaced the Overwatch Path to Pro. At the time of recording this video, there's another week before the next season of the Faceit League. If you'd like to give it a try, go over to Faceit's website using the link in my description for 20% off of your Faceit League pass. That's all for this time. Thank you for watching.